I was unsatisfied throughout most of my life, and here are the 3 mindset shifts and actions that I took to finally feel fulfilled. Being satisfied with yourself and every single thing that you're doing, it's a dream. It's something that is never going to become a reality. However, having a deeper sense of fulfillment and passion for the things you are doing in your life and the direction you are headed is something that is completely achievable, and it is something that I have achieved recently. I know many young people and students my age suffer from the same issue. They just live day to day and it all becomes kind of a monotone mesh of nothing. And I know many of you out there feel exactly the same way. Since I was a kid, I wasn't very passionate about any single aspect of my life. I was pretty good academically, but that was about it. That didn't really bring me the deep-seated passion that I was looking for and that I saw many others have in certain domains of their life. As I've grown up, I've managed to implement some keystone habits and some routines that have allowed me to become more passionate and more satisfied and more fulfilled with the things that I'm doing, and start choosing by myself, not allowing the influence of my parents or culture or my university or whatever it is to impact your decision making in terms of your future path and future vision. It took me a very long time to understand this, but once you do, you can start implementing these 3 tips that I'm going to give you to truly start changing your life around and being more fulfilled and passionate about your future outcomes. If you're new here, my name is Diego and this is Apex of Man. I'm an undergraduate student studying business and computer science at Boston University, and if you're obsessed with productivity, self-development, lifestyle design, and mastering your routines and your habits, be sure to smash that subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you don't miss a single video. New videos out every single week. Let's go. The number 1 mindset shift that you need to start implementing right now is to change your focus from goals to process. Focusing on goals, especially numeric goals, will destroy your motivation and your ability to be satisfied in the things that you're doing. Of course, goals are important and they provide us with a vision of what we could become and what we could achieve, and give us that hopeful inspiration and motivation to lead us down the correct path. However, sometimes goals can be so grand or so abstract or so numeric that they do not allow you to engage in the actions today in the present that you need to take to achieve them in the long run. For example, being good in school and achieving high grades was always a very integral part of my identity. And that is the lens through which I viewed the world for a very, very long time. However, I was paralyzed by those grades and the constant pursuit of the next grade report. These numeric goals were the only things that were giving alleged purpose to my life, and in terms of purpose, they fell very, very short. You either got the A or you did not get the A. There was nothing else. Sorry guys, had some pretty bad issues with the camera, now we set up again. So focusing on the process is the only way to be maximally effective in what you're doing in the moment, and the only way to actually improve sustainably and into the future. Because it's necessary that you learn to love the process, because if you don't, it's not worth it to just continue doing whatever you're doing and not loving the day-to-day, the hard grind, the battles that you need to engage in every day to actually see the output and the outcomes that you want to see. For this YouTube channel, for example, my goal is only to upload 1 or 2 videos a week. I have tried to detach myself entirely from numeric goals, be it followers, subscriber count, views, because that only makes you paranoid and have your eyes set on something that is not representative of your success. Because if I can continue producing 1 to 2 videos every single week, in the long run, I am going to get those views and those subscribers and everything else that comes with it. But I am not interested in that in the moment, and I don't think that will ever be my interest. I actively try to detach myself from those numeric goals. So if you're a person who's obsessed with numeric and material goals, be it the next pay raise, how much you're making, your bonus, what car you drive, what car you want to drive, the followers you have on Facebook, on YouTube, whatever it is, forget those goals. Actively work to detach yourself from those numeric and material goals and focus on loving the process and establish process goals. It is absolutely necessary. The second reason you are never satisfied is that you are not pursuing meaningful things. And of course, this sounds very intuitive. You need to pursue meaningful things to be fulfilled in life. But are you consciously working towards actually pursuing meaningful things and being present in the moment of what you were doing? Because I know I wasn't. And I know I had to change that to actually feel the fulfillment in my life. And there is a huge difference between being meaningfully productive and just being busy to occupy your time, which is artificially productive. A book I recently read called Make Time makes exactly this point, that people nowadays are busier than ever, but they are more unproductive than ever. We are surrounded by so many distractions and so many bureaucratic and admin types of things that we need to do in the academic, professional, and personal sphere, that it is such a time drain, and people are not feeling fulfilled, because how on earth are you gonna feel fulfilled filling in paperwork or just checking email and responding to email the entire day? You are letting other people's priorities go above your own. To specify this issue of being busy instead of productive, I wanted to give you guys a statistic that truly blew my mind. The average information worker, in contrast, spends 28% of their time reading, writing, and responding to emails. That is absolutely insane. Almost a third of your time professionally as an information worker, which is most workers nowadays in the kind of services sector, they spend a third of their time reading, writing, and responding to email. This is definitely something that can be cut off, and it's just a mirage of productivity. You are not being productive, you're not being meaningful in the work or the things you are doing. You are just occupying yourself with small, busy admin things that make you feel productive, but in the end don't fulfill you, and that's why you are never satisfied. I have mentioned it in this YouTube channel. For most of my life, I was a very academically involved person. It was an integral part of my personality. Getting good grades, getting those A's was a very important part of my identity that I didn't want to let go, because it was the almost single source of purpose in my life. So it was not until I got to university that I realized that the entire external academic structure, including extracurriculars, networking, relationship building, all of the thousands of activities that you can do at university, that is where I found meaning and purpose in my academic sphere. It was not only in the academics. And that is when I decided to start all of these side projects that I'm currently involved in, and meeting new people and going out there and going to extracurriculars and clubs and all of these fantastic things that are truly meaningful. They truly engage you in that learning process that is so much more than just the grade at the end of the semester. And now I'm starting to finally feel fulfilled. So forget about what your parents told you you had to do, or your teachers told you you had to do, or the culture is kind of imposing on you in terms of going a certain direction. Sit down, really focus, establish a vision, and see exactly where you want to go and what is meaningful for you in your life. Because if you don't, you're going to be stuck in a constant loop of negativity, and it's not going to lead you anywhere. You're not going to see progress because you're not involved in the process, and you're not doing things that are meaningful enough to drive that motivation into the future and to actually set you on the right path. So one actionable tip that I got from the book Make Time is that you need to establish a daily highlight. The daily highlight is one activity during the day that should be around 90 minutes long, and to establish this highlight you need to answer these 3 questions. The first strategy is all about urgency. What's the most pressing thing I need to do today? The second is to think about satisfaction. At the end of the day, which highlight will bring me the most satisfaction? And the third strategy is to focus on joy. When I reflect on today, what will bring me the most joy? So answer these 3 questions and make sure you pick a highlight for each day. Write it down in your planners, your diaries, your to-do list, wherever you write down things, and try and do that highlight early in the morning, so you start the day doing something meaningful and actually engaging that connects you deeply in your life and your purpose. The third reason why you are probably unsatisfied is that you are not managing expectations, and you are falling into the trap of the hedonic treadmill. You see, today more than ever, it's really easy to compare yourself to others. Social media has blown the lid off of regular life and how we used to compare ourselves to our peers and our surrounding circle. Now we can compare ourselves to absolutely anybody in the world, and that is usually a very, very crippling thing that will not allow you to progress towards your goals. In my life, I've had very, very high expectations of the relationships and the people I surround myself with. Initially, I thought that having a larger group of friends was necessary, and that was the thing that was going to create community and finally allow me to be satisfied and fulfilled in my life. But as I demanded more and more from myself and from the people around me, I started to isolate myself and not give people the opportunity to prove themselves and prove that they were actually positive and beneficial relationships in my life. And this was crippling to me, because I had the false idea that I had to increase my social circle to feel fulfilled, when it's the actual opposite. Reducing your social circle and being with people who are truly beneficial to you is the answer to being more fulfilled in your relationship. So I fell headfirst into the trap of not being able to manage my expectations and actually building a healthy social circle around myself. And the hedonic treadmill links very nicely into this not managing expectations. The hedonic treadmill trap is essentially the fact that it doesn't matter what happens to you in your life, positive or negative, you are usually going to remain on the same level of satisfaction during your entire life. And we are always expecting that if we have more friends, if we have more likes, if we have more followers, if we get the new car, that is gonna spike that level of satisfaction and bring it up. But that is not the case at all. When something good happens, you tend to get a spike in satisfaction and in happiness, and then it just goes back down into the kind of trend line of satisfaction that has been running through your entire life. And to manage these expectations and not fall into the hedonic treadmill, I just wanted to remind you of Jordan Peterson's 4th rule for life. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. That is absolutely necessary to find fulfillment in your life and actually manage those expectations and manage the responsibilities you have in your life to be maximally fulfilled and carry a heavy burden in your life to actually achieve the things you want to achieve and become a competent, successful, and very effective person leading your life in terms of your academics, relationships, personal life, professional life, financial life, everything. So all of those things are in harmony and are working together to move you forward into the world. So those were the 3 lessons I wanted to share that have been present in my life and things I've had to learn to finally get out of that phase of just perpetual dissatisfaction and not being excited by anything or feeling passionate about anything in my life. So if you're still hanging around here, thanks for joining the end of the video club. It means a lot to me that you're still here. Make sure to smash that subscribe button if you're interested in more videos like this, and leave a like, leave a comment, all of those good things, so maybe the algorithm gods bless us by pushing this video to the feeds of people who are not subscribed yet, and maybe we can help them improve their routine and their habits and continue growing our community. If you're interested in more content like this, make sure to check this video on how to quickly get out of ruts as a student, as well as this other video on how to actually stop being tired all the freaking time. Thanks so much for the support. See you in the next video.